The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Welcome to one more show of the Table Topics. And again, Michelle, thank you for being in there. And if you could just give us the screen.
Yeah. Well,
we like to see ourselves.
Snowflakes, right? There's some nice snowflakes there.
Yes, on the screen. We have nice snowflakes on the screen. But that's okay. Yeah. With me, John.
Yep.
And believe it or not, we did a show for a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, and a lot happened in a month.
Yeah. And I came here. I was kind of a little afraid what I would have to do.
Yeah.
You know, you talk
when I came in, I screamed for Santa, but he didn't answer, so he's probably on the shop by now.
Exactly.
The door is open. We just came in.
Exactly. I know. Sheesh.
And John, a lot's going on nationally.
Yeah.
And citywide.
Yep. Always something.
So we will not have a problem finding something to talk about.
Yeah. Exactly.
The passing of the 41st president.
Yep. George Bush. Yeah.
Which the funeral's tomorrow.
Yes.
Really tough now. Going into Christmas time and everything, really a tough time for it.
Yep. Yeah.
Your thoughts on the president?
What I find amazing is the media. You know how they're treating Mr. President Bush. They're so nice to him, but if you look at how, and I remember this, how they were when he was actually alive back in the 90s. They were horrible to him. Absolutely horrible. Now it's like everybody, I guess people forgot what happened 25 years ago when he was in office. So, but yeah, it's amazing.
I think it's always like that. I mean, when a person passes, it's like...
I guess, but it's just, I think it's overkill the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the folks are, they don't remember how. And it's funny because over the weekend I was watching some of the clips from like a few years back. And you talk about how, you know, the media is now. They threw a couple punches at him a few times, but he was right back at him. And I don't think we remember some of that, but some of the politicians would shoot back.
One thing that I noticed is even Fox News been so nice to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I know. CNN as well.
CNN, yes, but. So, but especially, I think Fox News has been. It's been nice.
If you I've been trying not to watch the news too much, but if you look at Fox News and CNN, Fox does have a lot of great tributes to the former president. CNN will have a tribute for 20 minutes, and then they're back to the same old, you know, Trump and Manafort. So they're not really giving him his due. But hey, that's why I guess people want to see this stuff, right?
So we had the elections starting next month. I think the Senate. Win couple new seats.
Yeah.
But lost
Congress. But you know, I believe with the Republicans at least a lot of retirements, and you know, some of those districts, you know, have changed a little bit. So yeah, it's to be expected. But
so you think it's going to be even harder now? Starting January for the president to get things done?
Well, I mean, I think you still have the Senate. So the Senate is really helpful to have that majority behind him. But the Congress is going to do. I mean, I think what did we hear recently? At least I heard that Congress has a 17% approval rating. So I don't know how much is going to change in that aspect, But yeah, it's going to be interesting. They've been highlighting a few new members from different states. So it'll be interesting. I think the Democrats have gone, you have this far, far left, no ICE agents, we don't want ICE anymore. We want an open border. You know, we want everybody to have this, and it's not possible. Where does the money come from? And I don't think people. I think
Well, talking about ICE and the border,
Yeah.
how's the wall coming?
Well, hopefully they're going to get that money. If not, the government gets closed down this week. You know, I think if anything, people have to notice that they need a wall. They do need a wall. I mean, you had people throwing bricks at the Border Patrol agents just a couple weeks back,
Can
right?
they throw that over the wall?
What do you mean? Throw what?
The bricks?
Yeah, they were throwing them over the wall, the bricks. We're getting
Okay.
thrown at the ICE agents. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what the wall's going to do?
But the wall will be a lot higher, and the wall that you
No,
won't be able to
you-
penetrate it. Look at
I know,
Israel.
I know
look
the
at
wall.
Look at Israel.
I know the wall was kind of a symbol of Trump's campaign, was a wall. But if you settle down and if you think, do we really need a wall?
Carlos, look at this in Europe. You're from Europe originally, right? Look in Europe. Every English city, a lot of Portuguese cities and Spanish. What did they have around the cities? I know I've been to England. I've seen the town of York in northern England. They have a huge wall. Quebec City and Canada, they have a huge wall. Why did they put up a wall
Well,
around the city? To protect themselves from
I
invaders.
went from Portugal to Spain.
Yep.
It's no wall. I went from Spain to France. It's no wall. I went from France to Germany. It's no wall. I don't see walls.
But there is a big, huge border fence on the Spanish border right now between the Mediterranean. There's a huge. I mean, you have to climb. It's probably like 3 stories high.
You know, I think that the money that we asking to build a wall,
Okay.
if we had that same kind of a money
Yeah.
to put a system that will work for immigration, I think that will make a big difference.
How much do you think we're spending housing people, flying people all over the country? Is that money? That's not money. That money could be going to American people that are here.
No, what I say is, if we had that kind of a money and put in a program that we don't close doors for people,
Yeah.
okay, we give them 5 years to work here, but we have the control when they're done with work, they can return. Because a lot of these people, they're looking just for job, not a permanent job, but something to help them and to move on. A lot of these people now, and I think this week he said that not even asylum, they're not even looking at that. Okay, and I believe that a lot of people is not looking for asylum, but a lot of people have reasons to look for asylum, and now they're not getting that.
Okay. Well, I look at it this way. Okay. The people that are coming in, who is this going to hurt? Number one, when you have, it's supply and demand. So if you have more workers than you have jobs, the wages are going to be low. That's what's happened over the last 20 years. People's wages have decreased because when you constantly have an influx of people that are willing to work at a low rate, that hurts everybody here in America. So there's got to be a way of controlling things. We're not the only country. Canada, Australia, New Zealand. In order to get into those countries, you have to have some kind of skill to provide to that country.
So what I think is, I cannot blame them for coming looking for a better job. I blame the owners of the jobs. Okay, we're not controlling them, and they are giving those jobs away.
I agree.
So instead of us trying to work with something that we have no control over, it's
so that's Carlos. That's like saying you have no control on who comes into your house. You have no control on who comes into your house.
No,
we have to have control of who comes into this country.
I understand that. What I'm saying that we have no control is you don't know how many are here, but you know how many jobs we have. So if you get caught having people working, illegals working for you, we can control you.
All right, let me
But we
let me
cannot
ask you a
control
question.
the guy that comes in looking for.
'Cause
We,
you're-
we look at one, it could be 5 behind him.
Well, let me ask you this, because this you know more about this. So I don't think any country in Europe that if I go, my wife and I say we would go over there, she's pregnant and she has a child, that child's going to be an American, not a Portuguese citizen, correct? We're the only one of the few countries in this world that do that. So we incentivize things too. We're incentivizing bringing more folks here. It's kind of like Fall River, right? Fall River, everybody complains about Fall River, right? And we got to have a happy medium of middle class. You need some rich people, and then low. If you have all low class people, you don't have a society. It becomes a low class thing. You can't ever improve.
But Fall River's losing that class.
Exactly. Why?
And it's not losing by one. They lose. We're losing by.
But what I'm trying to get
dozens.
at, Carlos, is when there's an influx of people that are low skilled, okay, you're taking away from that local economy. You're changing the culture as well, right? You're changing that culture. So we've got to control our borders. Every other country in this world controls their borders. We've got to be able to do that. And until we do that, we're
I
not.
believe in controlled borders. I just don't think that the wall is going to control it.
It's going to help it. Ask Israel that. Israel does a very effective job on keeping people out of their country. That's what we need to do. But unfortunately, what happens here is everybody, you got to be so politically correct in this country. We can't just say how it is. I mean, on the media, when those people were throwing bricks at the Border Patrol agents, now a brick can hurt somebody, and some people were hurt. What did the media put all over? One woman with 3 kids running all over the place. That's what was on the media nonstop. Not the people that are getting injured by bricks, the people that are coming over. Look in Mexico, people are really upset with them in Tijuana. They were upset. They've left areas full of trash and created havoc there. They're upset. You know, you can't just have caravans of people walking into a country, you know, whether people want to believe that or not. That you're not coming in. You're coming and saying, I'm going to do that. What is that? What is that then? Is that not breaking the law?
At the point is no one is coming now because
people are coming still every day. No, they're still coming, Carlos. There's caravan after caravan. And if you listen to a lot of the people on these caravans, when you do listen to the media, what you'll hear is you're going to hear something effect like, are you coming here due to violence in Central America? Maybe 1 or 2 people. A lot of people are saying, I'm coming here for a better life. I need a better job. I can't survive down there on that. So we've got to find a way of fixing this, because when our economy goes down again, you know, it's cyclical. You know what I mean? It goes like this. So our economy is going to get lower again. When you have all these people, not to mention that, you know, one thing that they're not bringing up, which is very interesting, is we're advancing in technology. It's going to come to a day within the next 10 years that we're going to have driverless cars. You're not even going to be able to drive your car, so that's going to be getting rid of truck drivers, taxi drivers, Uber. What are you going to do with those people? What are those people going to do?
My point, John, is if we don't have the jobs for them, they will come and go because they cannot survive. So what I'm saying
Carlos,
that we have this money is to control the people that are giving those jobs. Those we can control it if we have money to control.
Oh, I agree with you.
If we have extra patrol to go into this work, you know, and check IDs and see if these people are legal or not. So that money that we supposed to spend on the wall, if we hire more people to control the jobs, not the people coming, because they will come and if they. It's like you're moving. You want to move to Texas, okay? You want to move to Texas. You go to Texas, try to look for a job. If you don't find a job, you won't end up back in Fall River again, right? Because here you have help. You know how to work
but Carlos, some of the countries.
It's the same thing with these people.
Yeah, but I think the wall is not the ghetto. You know, it's not the total solution, but it's a big part of it.
I think the wall is just a slogan that he win. You know, some people's votes, not the majority, but some people's votes to get elected.
You told me you probably didn't really realize this because you were just new at the time when you came to the States. In the mid '80s. Under President Reagan, there was a big amnesty thing because we had all these illegal people here. So you know what? We can't just let people live in the shadows anymore. we're going to create an
I was
amnesty
here-
program.
I was here
Right.
for 4
So
months.
do you remember that? All right.
I
So
was
what,
here
what did
for
they
4
do?
months.
They gave amnesty to all these folks, and what happened? We're in the same boat. 20-something, 30 years later, we're probably worse. Now we have 12 million people that are not supposed to be here. So there has to be fixes to it. Number one would be a wall. Number two is going after folks that are hiring these people. But you know what? Sometimes what's happening is these people are getting phony IDs. They get phony passports, they get phony IDs, phony social security cards. That's what they're getting. So it's kind of hard to follow up on some of this.
And the walls that, and you know that better than me, some places you cannot build a wall, okay? So because it's
Yeah.
waters, it's,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
some place that you cannot build a wall. So to me is, let's spend the money trying to put a system, then we can control it instead of control them. We can control our people.
I read today in the paper that the United States is spending approximately $70,000 on people that are coming here illegally. I think that was for a family, like a family of four.
Well, and
So
we
70
spend $70,000 for every person that's in jail. So,
All right, but there already are citizens here. You know what I mean? There are citizens. So now we're taking
Some of them, they're
responsibility.
not.
All right. Well then
they got deported
well-
after
well,
we spend the money on
Yeah.
them.
Well, but I mean that's what I'm getting at. We're spending this kind of money right now that we don't have. We have a $21 million trillion deficit, and we're still having people come in and I just get so frustrated with this. I'm sorry. I just get very, very frustrated with this because people don't look at things common sense. Common sense point. It's very emotional. I get it. It's emotional. Everybody wants to be nice to everybody, but there are countries all around the world that have issues like this, in Africa and Asia, South America. They all have issues. We can't have everybody come to this country. Then we're going to become like those other countries. Then we're going to try to get out of here.
Well,
so we can't.
I can tell you this, and I think I already told you this before. My sister-in-law got a job, and she's not a doctor. She went just to sell ice cream in the store.
Yeah.
Okay, she got herself a 3-year contract, and she went, let's try. It's a job. Let's try. She was young. She was 25 or 26. She went there. After the 3 years, the contract gave her a 5-year.
Yeah.
Because she was okay. She was not getting in trouble. She was paying her tax, doing whatever she needs to do. And after that 5-year, they give her a citizenship. They give her, okay, you want to become a citizen, German citizen, then they give her the paperwork. But in the meantime, you know how many people fall off the contracts because either they got in troubles or whatever. But they had the control of their people. And that's why I think that we're missing in here is the fact that, that we have control. Like these visas, people come in here. The majority of the people illegal here, they came legally. They came with a visa. They came by plane. They came, they entered the country legally.
Yeah.
But then we lost them.
There's not enough manpower to track people.
Let's
That's
use the
problem.
money from the wall instead of the wall to hire people to control these people.
You still need the majority of people. I know that that's put out there that it's people coming on planes. There are a lot of people coming on planes, but the majority are coming through the southern border. They're not coming through the Canadian border. They're coming through the southern border. I mean, that's just the fact. So, and Europe, it works. Europe is a smaller country as well. And you figure, really, if you look at some things that have happened in Europe, when I look at like the UK, I look at some of the rich countries like Germany, Holland, Belgium, there's a lot of resentment of people coming into their country. You know what I mean? So I don't think that, we don't see that on the news, but, the richer countries like Germany and the UK, they're not always happy about people coming in from other European countries because they don't always want to assimilate too. So you have that there too. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, what's kind of happened here. I don't know what the solution is, but a wall is one of the solutions, one of them. And I agree with you. The whole thing with checking employers, that's another solution. But Another thing is these people making these phony IDs. You know, there was a place in Los Angeles. They showed you want a visa, you want this, you can go buy it.
And now, and probably changing a little bit into locally, Amazon.
We're getting close here.
Yeah,
we got
no,
10 minutes.
Amazon. Yeah, it's okay. Amazon, it's came in with this thing that was going to hire a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, how long they open? A year?
Yeah.
But maybe under a year.
Yep.
They already tried everything to get people to work.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are failing the quality checks. A lot of people are failing the drug tests. A lot of people don't have high school diplomas. So they are in a situation now that we promised them everything.
Yeah.
They came here, they opened one of the biggest facilities they have. Okay, they could be anywhere else in U.S., but they in Fall River.
Yeah.
So guess what? I heard that they hiding on the spot now. You call on the phone.
Yeah.
You call on the phone for a job. You got the job. You have an interview tomorrow. Okay. They dropped the high school diploma. You don't even have required to have a high school diploma.
Who's going to, the salaries now have gone up to 15, but they were 12 and 13. Minimum wage in Massachusetts, $11 an hour.
This. You know which this going to end up?
What?
You don't have to be legal in the country.
No, that's so. But then at that point, then Carlos, you're just answering my theory that I just said.
Exactly what I'm saying.
You're bringing in people.
The bosses.
So what I'm trying to say is that when you have people come in that are not legal, you're letting them do that. No, the wages need to go up because people around here can't. If your rent's $1,000 a year, you can't make $14 an hour. So increase the wages to 16. So you just answered my point: supply and demand. If we don't let people come in, then they're going to have to increase the wages.
But the problem is people. Okay, the people that Fall River has right now don't have the work.
Then you need to put the wages up.
Capacity.
You can get people. No, you can get people in here. You need to increase the wages.
You can give them $20 an hour.
Yeah.
If you getting assistant, why you gonna? I prefer to be home making $15 an hour than being working for Amazon for $20 an hour.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So one thing has to work with the other.
No, exactly, Carlos. But I don't blame that. I'm not blaming that on the people that are here. I'm blaming that on, it's a multitude of things. It's number one, they don't want to increase wages, so they're bringing more and more people that are not legal here, so that depresses the wages. But on the other side, here in Fall River, $1,000 a month. I can't believe that that's what the rents are here, to be honest with you, $1,000, $1,200 a month. So how can you survive on $14 an hour? People, you have to leave.
But why the rents are that expensive? It's because these people are getting help. They're not working and paying the $1,000 a month.
I believe that, a lot of people are getting help, but a lot of people are moving in here from other areas because it's so expensive.
Because for $1,000 for an apartment, you can own your own property.
Well, probably a little bit more than that. But, you know, if you look at what's going on with the rents area, I was talking to somebody a couple months back, Brockton, $1,600 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment, and it's not even in that great of an area. So the closer they get to Boston, so what happens is the people have to go further down. So that, you know what I mean? You're getting a lot more people that $1,000 is cheap if you were paying $1,600, and they'll drive the 50, 40 miles or whatever.
And a lot of these apartments, expensive apartments, are rented to people that working under the table. Yeah, so they can afford to pay apartments this high.
I don't know.
But look what happened in New Bedford about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, they raided that big factory, 600 people under the table working in there, or whatever, with fake social securities, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Whatever.
See, you're actually
they never
agreeing with me.
Exactly. But look, they never recover enough people to keep the doors open and going. They had to shut down. And that's not the only business that goes out of business because they cannot hire people to work.
So
they were depending on those illegals.
So they shouldn't be here then. They shouldn't be here. Then go open up the factory down there then. You know what I mean? If you can't pay the people the money here.
But here's my thing, John. Those 600 people,
Yeah.
okay, that was working under the table there, if every single one of them had Social Security, okay, and be working legally, everybody was gonna win on the end. And if you become somebody that we don't want to have on our country, we're gonna deport you. But we know where you are.
Yeah.
We know where you work. We know where you live. We're gonna deport you. That's what I'm saying. That we need a system that we can deport them when they're not good.
You want us to subsidize then these companies is basically what you're saying, because anybody that's born in the USA, okay, if somebody comes here from another country, they have a child here, they're not eligible for benefits, but their children are eligible for food stamps, health care, whatever else we have.
They probably are.
So basically,
They probably are.
You're saying to keep that factory here so this company doesn't go out of business around here, who's probably hiring 0 Americans. So we're keeping jobs here in America to hire these people, and then we're paying them all these benefits. So how is that helping us? How is that going to help us?
Well, if they are on the system,
Yeah.
that's the only thing. Is if they are on the system,
gonna be on the
they are
system, Carlos.
participating. They are paying Social Security. They are paying tax. They are paying rents. They're buying cars. They're traveling. They paying insurances. All of this, we are winning, independent if that person. It's only a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
That person is contributing now. It's nothing to
I know
hide.
what you mean. It works in America. It works in Europe. I get it, because you've got all these little
Works.
countries together. It works there. However, I don't think it would work here because people come over on student visas and then we can't find them. So it's too big
That's
of a
what
country.
we need. That's what we need. More people
It's.
to look over this stuff.
I mean, that's a good
And
thing.
right now,
but
people are upset with ICE
Yeah.
because they are doing this kinds of jobs that they're not supposed to.
what are they not supposed to do? ICE is-
What ICE is supposed to do?
They're supposed to, anybody that's not here illegally, they deport them. You're not here illegally. What shouldn't ICE, why shouldn't ICE do that?
No, it's ICE is supposed to work with border control,
Okay.
right?
Yep. Okay.
With border.
Okay.
So if you did something bad and you illegal here,
Yeah.
okay, should not be ICE. ICE should be called after the process it's done and this person needs to be deported. That's when ICE comes in and grabs you and takes you.
Okay.
Not to do the job for it,
Okay.
up to the arrest.
I think yeah, you'll have to explain that later on. I
I'm going
think
to
I'm losing
explain that probably on our next show. What we need to talk about Fall River. A lot's going on in the city too. But we will be back in 2 weeks for another show, just our last show of the year.
Yeah.
And
See, you made
till
me
then-
talk all that bad stuff there. Look, and right behind Christmas, right? Sheesh.
Very good. Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the holidays coming.
Yep. Have a good night.